Hey guys, it's Alina here, and I'm so excited to share that I partnered up with Clairol Pro to take the Flare Me Bold Hair Challenge. This video is sponsored by Clairol Pro, but all opinions are my own. Y'all know I have opinions, so let's do this. Clairol Pro is no stranger to the hair dyeing business, so it's not surprising that they came out with one of the first permanent fantasy color lines, their Flare Me line. So the Flare Me line has 7 different shades and 1 pastelizer. So the clear shade is meant to be mixed in with the other shades in order to kind of dilute them and make a more pastel shade, so you can really customize your color. The Flare Me line lets you personalize your color and really express yourself. So the cool thing about this is that it is a permanent fantasy color. It will last up to 5 weeks. So I know that sounds kind of crazy that it's permanent, but yet it lasts up to 5 weeks. Basically, if you dye your hair any color, every time you wash it, it kind of, I don't want to say removes the color, but it kind of does. It makes it a little more dull and not as vibrant, which is why you usually will go back in and refresh the color every few weeks. So the reason why it's called permanent is because it doesn't wash out completely. It fades true to tone. So over time, you'll still have that same shade, but it'll be a little more muted, a little less vibrant. So if you want to keep it vibrant, you want to keep refreshing the color, but it'll never go away completely. Which is awesome because you guys know how often I have to retouch my hair because the color goes away so quickly, like down the drain. Also, because it is a permanent shade, it does not bleed, it will not end up on your towels, it will not end up on your pillowcase. It is the safest fantasy color that you could ever go with. I said it. So the Flare Me line is available at Sally Beauty Supply, and I don't want that to discourage you. I know a lot of you guys probably think it's so complicated to, you know, get the hair dye and the developer and mix it together. I just want to tell you guys, I am not a hairstylist. I have never dyed my hair in this way, mixing and developer and all of that. So I just want to show you guys how easy it is to do this on first try. Like I mentioned, there are 7 different shades. The 3 shades that I'm going to be using today are BU Blue, which is their blue shade, Power to the Purple, their purple shade, and Toughest Teal, their teal shade. I'm also going to be using the pastelizer, the clear shade, to kind of more customize these colors. In addition to that, you're going to need a developer to mix in with this color. So I'm using the Clairol Professional Soy 4-Plex Pure White Cream Developer. This is a gentle lift, so it's level 10. And by mixing this in, it is going to lift ever so slightly. So this level 10 is meant to be used when less lightening is needed. So you're going to need those 2 things. Now, if you want the most vibrant color, you're going to want to start with pre-lightened hair. If your hair is kind of already a very, very light blonde, it'll still work and you'll still get a very vibrant color. But if it's not, then you're just gonna have to pre-lighten your hair. So I'm not a stylist, but Clairol Pro has been generous enough to give me information to pass along to you guys if you're looking to pre-lighten your hair at home. They recommend using 1 ounce of Clairol Pro Basic White 2 Lightening Powder with 2 ounces of Clairol Pro Pure White Cream Developer at 20 volume. That's for you do-it-yourselfers if you wanna go that route. If you're hesitant about that, honestly, go to your local salon, have them lighten the hair for you, and then you can go home and go crazy with your color. Either one is a good option. So if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I change my hair color pretty often. So I won't be using the Flare Me line on my own hair, but you guys might remember that I used to have this beautiful jewel-toned hair with like purples and greens and blues and all of that. So because I miss that so much, I got a human hair wig and I will be dyeing that. And then I can have those beautiful jewel tones whenever I want. So my whole point in this collaboration is encouraging you guys to express yourself with fantasy hair color, whether it be on your own hair, extensions, or a human hair wig like I'm about to do. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I transform a human hair wig into a beautiful jewel tone masterpiece, keep watching.
I started with 3 empty cups. These are just plastic disposable cups, but ideally if you have color bowls, use those. I added a full tube of the shade Toughest Teal to the first cup, a full tube of the shade Power to the Purple to the second cup, and finally I added a full tube of the shade BU Blue to the last cup. Then to soften the shades a bit, I added 1/3 of a tube of the Clearly You pastelizer to each cup. I then added Clairol's Pure White 10 volume developer to each cup. The ratio should be equal parts color to developer, so 1:1. Then I mixed the contents of each cup. You'll see a gradual change of the shade while mixing. Some shades reveal the color quicker than others, as you can see. Don't worry, you'll get plenty of pigment as it develops. When dyeing a wig or extensions, if you're just using one shade, you can just place it in a bowl while you apply the color. Because I did multiple colors, I needed to be able to see how they would look as I was wearing them, so I chose to use a mannequin head. Shout out to my stylist for lending me one. If you do use a mannequin head, you'll want to saran wrap it because the color will seep through the wig cap. I placed the wig on the mannequin head and proceeded to section the hair. I planned on doing 3 horizontal sections of 3 different shades. This part doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but you want to make sure that the front hairline is sectioned off as uniformly as possible. I clipped the top 2 sections to start working from the bottom to the top. Unless you plan on foiling the entire wig piece by piece, this is the easiest way to go about it so you don't accidentally stain the other sections. Make sure to wear gloves. Even if you're not afraid of chemicals, wear gloves or forever have Smurf hands. You have been warned. I chose to have the bottom section be tough as teal. I applied the color using a color brush. Color brushes allow for more precision and less wasted product, but if you can't get your hands on color brushes, then just use your gloved hands carefully. As you can see, I'm applying the color a bit haphazardly, further proof that I'm not a pro, but I did try to mimic my stylist as much as possible. Once I applied all the color, I took a piece of foil and pinned it on each side to create a barrier between the sections. It's not perfect, but it's sufficient. Next up is the BU blue section. I unclipped the middle section of hair, split it in half, and clipped the top half away so I can work with a smaller section. I applied the color the same way. Once I finished with this half, I unclipped the remaining middle section and applied the blue to it. If you notice, it looks like I run the hair through my fingertips, but I'm actually separating the strands as I do this to make sure the color is distributed evenly and throughout. Again, I wish I was this smart, but I'm just mimicking what I've seen my stylist do on me. Once this section is complete, I clipped the foil layer to each side and made sure the top was tucked close to the scalp. Time for the last color, which is Power to the Purple. Again, I split the section in half, pinned the top half, and worked on the bottom half first. Because this is a top section, I paid extra attention to the hairline and the top section where the hair would be parted to make sure there was adequate color applied. The top section is the most visible, so you want to be extra thorough. Once I finished, I set an alarm for 30 minutes, which is the time recommended. Yes, the bottom sections will be processing for much longer than 30 minutes, but it shouldn't be an issue with such a gentle developer. If you're concerned, you can always rinse out the sections as they finish processing, but it'll be tricky and probably super messy. Once it was done processing, I rinsed out the color thoroughly until the water ran clear. To further lock in the color, I used Clairol Professional I Thrive Post Color Sealer Treatment. I applied it throughout the hair, waited the recommended 2 minutes, and then rinsed it out. They do have an entire I Thrive Color Vibrancy line that will help you maintain the color even more. Definitely don't use your average shampoo or conditioner on your masterpiece. I knew I wanted to style the wig curly, so I brushed it and let it air dry, which is what you're seeing here. I love how the colors came out. Remember that I used the pastelizer, so without it the colors will be darker, or you can add more than I did to get them to be pastel shades. I wanted jewel tones, so I was super satisfied.
So here's the final look. I'm super excited with how it came out. So as you can see, I've got the purple on top, then the blue, and then teal on the bottom. This teal has me living. I'm not used to seeing myself with such dark hair anymore. It's been so long. So I did curl it just to kind of style it a little bit, but that's why I showed you guys a clip of it air dried so you can see, you know, the color. Originally, I did want to do some sort of gradient, but that is a very tricky process. And as you can see from what I did, it was already messy enough as it is. So if you do want to have multiple colors, I would recommend doing the technique that I did, the 3 layers of it, because what'll happen is when you curl your hair, you'll see the different pieces, or even if you have it straight, you'll see the different pieces, but it's gonna look extra cute when it's curled because they can all kind of intertwine. As you can see, the colors are extremely pigmented, very bold. I did mix 1/3 of a tube of the pastelizer in each shade, but if you do want to go lighter, you might want to do like 1 tube of the color, 1 tube of the pastelizer to go a lot lighter. I've seen a variety of looks. I wanted something a little bit more bold, but I did mix in a little bit of the clear just to see how it changes up the color a bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I encouraged you guys to express yourself and take the bold hair challenge. I just want to give a huge thank you to Clairol Pro for bringing me on for this project. I was so excited about it that it was super hard to keep it a secret, but I'm so happy that I can finally share it with you guys. All the links to the products that I mentioned will be in the description box. If you do end up taking the Clairol Pro Flare Me Bold Hair Challenge, definitely tag me in your photos on Instagram or Twitter, Facebook, whatever, because I want to see the looks that you guys create. Super excited about that. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!